Hey, what's going on everybody? Dustin here, and in this video we're going to take a look at Wealthfront Investment and go into detail on this robo-advisor and why this might be the best robo-advisor currently available. Now, for full transparency, I actually do use Wealthfront for my own personal investments, and I'm even considering using them as my main bank. But this video is not sponsored by Wealthfront whatsoever. And the reason I use Wealthfront is the fact I believe they do a fantastic job with their constant updates, great interface and software that just makes investing or managing your finances easier, and it also saves me time. Now, could I manage my own finances? I sure could, and for the most part I do. But some of their features and automations are things I really like, and it overall saves me time. And the time I save, I can spend it with my family or I can make videos for the channel. And time is something I've really started to value more and more. Before I had kids, I would have no problem doing so many things that cost me my time. But with two young kids, I don't have as much free time as I used to. So making sure I spend time in the right places is very important to me. And I do believe Wealthfront does that for me. And getting started with Wealthfront, it's extremely easy and their website is very user-friendly, and you can open multiple accounts in just minutes. And Wealthfront is meant for the long-term investor, not day trading or swing trading, meaning you don't need access to this money for many years. And I'll assume long-term investing is what you're looking for since you clicked on this video. And even if you don't want to open an actual account with Wealthfront, you can use their planning tool for free. And their planning tool is actually pretty good. You can link all of your external accounts and you'll see an overall picture of your finances. Now, I will say, while I do think this is a pretty useful tool, I do find Mint's equivalent tracker just a little bit more complete. You can add more to it to make sure you're getting a more full picture, but Wealthfront's planning tool is still very, very good. And in order to open your account, you just need to go to Wealthfront's website and select Get Started. Then you're going to select Investing Account because that's what we're looking to do. They also do have a banking account where the interest rate is currently only 0.1%. That's definitely not the highest rate out there, and it's not a competitive interest rate if you're looking for a high interest rate option. Then you do want to select what type of account you do want to open. Now, Wealthfront does have a few different investing options. They do offer a taxable brokerage account, a traditional and Roth IRA, SEP IRA, an option to roll over a 401k to an IRA, and a 529 account for saving for your kids' education. Now, we're going to select a taxable account, and once you select that, you need to select who this account is for. And you can actually have a joint account if you are opening this account for you and your partner. Then you'll need to go through and enter information like your name, phone number for that two-factor authentication, and your birthday. Then you'll get to the more financial questions like your pre-tax income and how much you currently have in assets and investments. Then there are a few questions that you do need to answer about your risk tolerance, such as your goals and what would you do if the market were to dip. And if the market were to dip, the right answer is to buy more, baby. And once you answer this information, Wealthfront will give you a portfolio that they think is the most appropriate for you. And you can see as you adjust your risk levels, the portfolio allocation changes as well. Then you do have the option to edit your portfolio to make it more customizable for yourself, which I'll go into more detail in just a couple of minutes. And after you do that, you just need to link your bank account and fund your account. And that's it, and you've made yourself your investing account with Wealthfront. Now, the process is super simple and it only takes a few minutes of your time. And if you're looking to open multiple accounts at the same time, you can do that. It just takes a few minutes to open those subsequent accounts. But one potential barrier for some individuals might be the fact that Wealthfront does require at least $500 to open an investment account. It's not a huge requirement, but if you're someone just starting out, you may not have $500 to toss into your account. Just something to keep in mind. Then for the standard portfolios that Wealthfront uses, there are quite a few options they have. And Wealthfront uses the modern portfolio theory as the backbone for their portfolio options. But their pre-made portfolios are determined by the questions you answered based on your risk tolerance. And you can see the portfolio changes as you go up or down the chart. And this ranges from the low risk option, which is about 2/3 bonds and the rest are stocks. Moderate risk is about 65% stocks to 35% bonds. Then the aggressive portfolio is 96% stocks and only 4% bonds. But to take this one step further, Wealthfront also allows you to customize your portfolio. And I really like this, and it allows a little bit more control if you didn't just want to use one of their standard portfolios. And this customization lets you adjust the allocation for your current portfolio that you have, or you can add or remove funds depending on how you want to make up your portfolio. These include different ETF options like QQQ, ARK, VTI, and others. You can even choose to invest in different sectors, or if you maybe want to invest in a dividend ETF. Or maybe you're someone who wants more socially responsible investing, or maybe you want to invest in gold. These are all options that you can add to your portfolio to make it a better fit for you. Then for the crypto crowd out there, Wealthfront has mentioned that they will be looking to add some cryptos options for people to add to their portfolios. So really making the portfolio you want is completely possible. Whether you want to use one of Wealthfront's standard plans or make one of your own, it's completely up to you. And as for myself, I've actually adjusted my portfolio to be 60% in US stocks, 20% into developed markets, 10% in the emerging markets, and 10% in a dividend growth fund. And I don't want any bonds in my portfolio at this time, but I can always change my portfolio down the road and add it if I wanted to later on. Now, Wealthfront is similar to other robo-advisors where they use lower cost ETF for the fund options for their portfolios. And Wealthfront has many different fund options. They offer funds from Vanguard, Schwab, iShares, and a few others. And this is a lot more than you'll see from other robo-advisors, and there's actually a reason for this. Although not all options are available for you to select from, and that's because some funds are used for their tax loss harvesting. So Wealthfront essentially pairs up similar funds so they can use this benefit to better help you. For example, you may have VTI be part of your portfolio, and Wealthfront has VTI paired up with SCHB, which is a Schwab fund. And if there's a tax benefit that Wealthfront sees here, they will sell your VTI and purchase SCHB to replace it. So you capture those tax benefits and you pay less in taxes. Then once you get above $100,000 in your portfolio, you're going to have better access to US direct indexing, which is stock level tax loss harvesting, which I really don't know exactly how this is done, but what they do is they purchase individual stocks with smaller companies that would match an ETF in its behavior. But this gives Wealthfront more opportunities to capture more tax losses to reduce your overall tax burden. Then once you hit $500,000 in your taxable accounts, you're going to get access to Smart Beta, which looks to help to improve your returns even more. But Wealthfront has a very solid selection of ETFs and funds that you can choose from, and they're looking to add more options such as crypto so people can use dollar cost averaging to invest their money in crypto if that's something that you're looking to do. Then Wealthfront will automatically reinvest your dividends that you receive, as they should be, and they will reinvest your dividends. That's also going to help rebalance your portfolio if it is needed. Now, using Wealthfront for investing, it's not free, so some people may not want to use them for that reason alone. But the fee to use Wealthfront is just 0.25% annually, compared to a traditional advisor, which is about an average of 1%. And it doesn't matter the amount of money you have in your account, the fee stays the same, which I don't find their fee to be unreasonable. And this is $25 for every $10,000 you have invested. Now, these fees are in addition to the expense ratios of the fund that you're invested in as well. So for people who have lower account balances, this may not be ideal since there are options that don't charge any fees for their accounts, such as Fidelity Go up to a certain point, or even Schwab. But when you sign up with a referral link, you do get $5,000 of fee-free managed money, and each time you refer someone, you get an additional $5,000. So this is a pretty good referral program because this fee-free managed money, it does not expire, and it's only going to reduce your overall expenses and costs when using Wealthfront. Now, if you want, you'll find my link in the description box below where we'll both get $5,000 fee-free managed. And if you do decide to use my link, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Then the tax loss harvesting can make it so that you're coming out ahead on the fees when you look at how much they're saving you on your taxes. Fidelity doesn't offer tax loss harvesting, and Schwab, you have to have a lot of money in your account to even be eligible for tax loss harvesting. And Wealthfront, you get that the minute you open your account. In the referral program from Wealthfront, it does offer a way to reduce your expenses even more. Now, one thing I'm a sucker for is a great user interface on a mobile app. And that's because I do most of my banking and monitor of my accounts from my phone instead of a computer. And the mobile app on Wealthfront is very good. You can link accounts from other institutions, you can transfer money between accounts, set goals, and you can even see your projected net worth. And this app is just an all-around great tool, and it is really well done. They've even rolled out an autopilot feature where you can choose one of your accounts, and when that particular account gets above a certain amount of money that you decide, by $100 or more, you can have Wealthfront direct that money to the accounts where you want that money to go. This way, your money is always going where you need it to go without doing anything, and I think this is a really nice time saver. For example, I have my account set up that anything over $200 from my Bank of America account will go into my Wealthfront cash account up to $10,000 because we're having some work done around the house. After that account hits $10,000, Wealthfront will start moving that extra money into my taxable brokerage account. Now, Wealthfront does a lot of its work with computers and algorithms, and while human interaction is possible, it's going to be more limited compared to a traditional financial advisor. I was actually listening to one of their calls on Clubhouse, and it was mentioned they actually have one financial advisor for every 32,000 customers. And they don't need many people since most people will handle their accounts online and their system is mostly computerized. Wealthfront will also automatically rebalance your portfolio to prevent any drifting, just like any robo-advisor would do, so you don't need to worry about managing that. They'll also offer you a line of credit when your taxable brokerage account reaches $25,000 or more, and this line of credit will be about 30% of your portfolio balance. So I have roughly $48,000 in my taxable brokerage account, so I have access to a credit line that's just a little over $13,000. There's no credit checks or other paperwork you need to deal with in order to access this credit line. And the interest rates do reduce the more money you hold with Wealthfront, and the current rates range from about 2.4% to about 3.65%, and they can change as the US interest rates adjust too. Now, if your portfolio balance changes, so will the available line of credit, and you are using your investment portfolio as collateral for this credit. Now, I personally don't know if I would ever use this, but if for some reason you needed a loan and the rates you were getting from banks were higher, I guess you could use it. But I think the use cases for this are going to be very limited, and you should really evaluate if taking that loan is worth it. Now, I am a big fan of Wealthfront and what they offer, and I know you can set a 3-fund portfolio and be done with it, and I definitely could. But for me, it's the extra features like autopilot, tax loss harvesting, and the overall time savings I get with Wealthfront that really makes me enjoy it. I do wish they offered fractional shares so that all my money was invested when they received it, but they don't hold much for cash, and they do use that cash if they need to use tax loss harvesting or maybe help with rebalancing. And while we talked about their investment side in this video, I am really considering making them my main bank for my day-to-day needs. And I realize Wealthfront's not going to be for everyone, and that's fine, and their fee will turn some people off. And honestly, it turned me off for a little bit too. But I do believe the savings you can receive from tax loss harvesting can make this a net positive for you, which makes the fee a non-issue. But what I really like is the fact that Wealthfront is always looking to improve and add more automation and benefits to customers. They just seem very dedicated to that experience and making sure they offer the customers a lot of value while having a smaller manageable fee. So I might sound like a Wealthfront fanboy, and that's because I am. But there are very few companies and products that I truly believe in, but Wealthfront is definitely one of them. And I really look forward to what Wealthfront has coming down the pipeline. So let me know, do you use Wealthfront? And if so, what do you think of it? Now, if you want to know more about other robo-advisors, then be sure to check out this video right here, where I compare some of the top robo-advisors out on the market. And if you know someone that finds this video useful and helpful, consider sharing it with them, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.